Hey there, folks. Welcome to the second running of the Cocodona 250. We hope you're excited to join us this coming week for what will be a great run. Have a bunch of updates want to share with you, go through all the things you need to know for the race. So here we go. Let's get right into it. The first and foremost thing to mention is the Crooks Fire update. So we had a fire pop up last week in the Bradshaw Mountains. Camp Kippa, aid station number 5, was under fire, and as the fire has spread across the course and is still raging, fire crews are working feverishly to put it out. We're going to talk a little bit more about the fire, but that's the biggest and most pressing thing that we're dealing with right now. We have developed an alternate route, and we are going with the alternate route. It does a counterclockwise loop around the Prescott Valley, back down to Skull Valley, back up, and rejoins the original course around mile 58. So we did lose some miles on this reroute, so we had to make it up with an out and back section out of aid station 16 rather, Munns Park. So that's an 8-mile out, 8-mile back for a 16-mile total, which brings the course total to 250 miles and 0.4. So we just squeaked by with 250, which is in the name. So that's kind of important, isn't it? So what it does is that the new section cuts out the Bradshaw Mountains, which, if you know a lot about the course, you might actually be happy about, because the Bradshaw Mountains is the most rugged, hardest section of the course. So I'm going to go over the course a little bit right now. So we've got the Bradshaw Mountains. The old start was down in Black Canyon City down here. We went through the Bradshaw Mountains. Aid Station 5 was right up here. You can see that fire that currently, the orange is what has burned, the red is what's currently burning, and then join the course, the old course right into here. So you can see, obviously, there's a fire right here. Our new reroute starts in Prescott. We got downtown Prescott right here. So we start on the north side of Prescott, across the street from Pioneer Park. Do a big counterclockwise loop with a couple of aid stations around Prescott in the foothills. We go down to Skull Valley, turn around and head right back up for the out and back section, drop down to Copper Creek Aid Station, and then cross 89 to rejoin the course coming into Prescott. So that's the reroute that we did, and a little bit of update about the fire. So let's get into the regular race details to talk through all that you need to know for the race. So check in for the race. You have two options. You don't have to come to both, but one of the options is Saturday from 12 o'clock to 5 p.m. at the Aravaipa office. That's 2401 South 24th Street in Phoenix, right across from the airport. You can drop off your drop bags at that check-in option. So that's Saturday from 12 to 5. Or you can show up to the start line Sunday from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. for another check-in. That's at the start line. Again, drop bags are accepted at that time. We ask, if you are going to camp out with us over the night on Sunday before the race, that you do not show up before 1 p.m. on Sunday. And then Sunday at 5:30 p.m., we're going to have a little live race briefing with some updates and a Q&A session. If you're watching this video right now, not a whole lot of new stuff that we're going to cover, so you're not required to attend. We highly encourage you to attend any fire updates between now and then. We'll have those for you, as well as a Q&A session. So that is Sunday at 5:30 p.m. at the start line. So the start line is a little bit hard to find. I'm going to jump over to the map again real quick. Okay, so this is Pioneer Park here. This is Commerce Drive. The entrance to Keebler Park is right here. So we're across the street from Pioneer Park. You come in past the baseball fields right here, and then there's a big dirt area. They call it the pit, is what we're going to be starting at. So don't go to Pioneer Park. The address is 1193 Commerce Drive. This is Commerce Drive. There's a sign for Keebler Park right here across the street from Pioneer Park. Drive to the back past the baseball fields, and we're in the gravel pit. And we ask that you not show up before 1 p.m. on Sunday at the earliest. So there you go. That's the start line. So Monday morning, we're going to get you started 8 a.m. We're going to assign spot trackers. So we want all runners to show up at 8 a.m. on Monday before the start at 10 a.m. as a mass start. This year, one change for the course, there is not a required water carry from the start. So the old course went up into the Bradshaws and had a 20.5 mile section between aid station 1 and 2. Super hot, super rugged, very slow section. We don't have that section anymore. I hear a lot of people praising for that. We also don't have the required water carry. So you don't have to have 4 liters to start out with in the race. That said, it is going to be hot. It is going to be early in the race. You don't want to get too depleted, so please carry enough water based on the temperatures and the section at hand. There is some gear that is required, though. All runners are required to run with a cell phone, also a GPS-enabled device. Most runners, that'll be their cell phone, but that has to have the course map downloaded to whatever GPS device you have. We require you to run with a headlamp, a space blanket, and a whistle. So those are the required pieces of gear that every runner needs to have on them the entire race. There will also be some sections of the course where we're going to check you for cold weather gear. That cold weather gear is gloves, hat, a long sleeve, and a jacket. So it's basically every place you have a drop bag before you go up into any place with substantial elevation. So those locations where we will be checking required cold weather gear: Aid Station 9, Fain Ranch; Aid Station 14, Sedona; Aid Station 16, Munns Park; Aid Station 18, Fort Tuthill; and Aid Station 19, Walnut Canyon. All of those locations where we're going to be checking for that cold weather gear are drop bag locations. They are also locations where you have crew. So if you have crew or you're going to use drop bags, you have no excuse not to have that cold weather gear. Especially at Aid Station 19, Walnut Canyon, going up and over Eldon. It could get down well below 25 degrees, so be prepared for cold temperatures up on the top of Eldon. Another item of gear, a lot of people will carry poles. We recommend, there's not that many brands of trekking poles out there. We recommend that you label yours with some colored tape, put your name on them so they don't get mixed up with other runners. So we talked about cold weather gear, but more likely it is going to be hot out there. So that first section of the day one where we're dropping down into Skull Valley, it could get up into the upper 80s. And then the sections through the Verde Valley and into Sedona will get quite hot as well. Forecasts for into Sedona are up into the mid 80s, which at full sunlight at elevation is quite intense. So be prepared, come covered up. Wear a hat with a brim and or the side flaps. Wear a long sleeve. Have plenty of electrolytes. Don't underestimate the heat and how hot it's going to be out there. So yeah. Okay, speaking of the course and how hot it's going to be, we want you guys to know where you're going on the course. So a GPS enabled device is a mandatory item, as I said earlier. You have to have the course file downloaded. The course file on the website is the most current. There was an email sent out to all runners on this past Friday letting them know that, hey, that course file is ready to be downloaded. If you have any problems downloading your file onto your phone, please give it a few attempts, but then feel free to troubleshoot. And if you really can't figure it out, give me a call. My cell phone number is 801-746-9848. So give me a call if you need some help getting that course file downloaded to your phone. Another item that you're going to have on your phone is the race command phone number. So we're going to check when you're checking into the race. We're going to check that you have the course file downloaded on your phone. We're also going to make sure that you have the race command phone number downloaded to your phone, or in your phone rather. It's 888-713-6853. Again, that's 888-713-6853. That's a number for you to text. It's a text number, not a call number. It's text only, but it's a number that you can text information during the race. If there's some course signage that's in a section that got vandalized and we need to get out there and fix it, if there's an issue out on the course, an injured runner, it's for you to be able to text us at that phone number, and for us to be able to respond. We do have switchboard operators manning that phone number, and we'll get somebody right away to respond. It's also a way that we can communicate with you, all runners or any specific runners, if there's any issue out on the course. Last year, there were a handful of times when I was watching the GPS tracking, watched a runner go off course, called that runner's cell phone, the runner picked up, and I was able to get them turned around and right back onto the course, which, man, that seems crazy. We are watching you. So yeah, have your cell phone handy, and we'll let you know if you're off course. All right, drop bags. Let's talk about drop bags. So I've got a number of questions come in about drop bags going straight to the finish line. So yes, we will have a pile of drop bags that are going to go straight to the finish line. Any of your drop bags are going to go to the finish line, so you don't need to have a separate drop bag for that finish line. They should all meet you there at the finish line. We're asking you to have a maximum size. Please have as small of drop bags as you can, but a maximum size of 60 liters, which is about 24 inches by 12 inches by 12 inches, about the size of a small duffel bag. So please keep your drop bags to smaller than that size. And it'll help us out a lot if you move those drop bags to the used drop bag pile at each aid station. That way we can shuttle those drop bags ahead to the finish line and meet you at the finish line with all your drop bags. Another question that has been coming up are bib number requests. So we are not taking bib number requests for this race. Bib numbers will be issued at race check-in. So when you come to check in for the race, we will have your bib number for you, as well as a bunch of other awesome goodies. You can send out a social media post asking your friends and family to follow your progress along the course. I'm going to tell you a little bit about that live tracking app here in just a minute, but that you will use your bib number. Another item that you're going to get at check-in are 2 bibs. One will be on a bib belt that you can easily click on and click off around your waist. You go through so many changes of clothes at a race like this that we felt it was a big benefit to have a bib that you could take on and off on a belt, and then also another bib for you to pin to your backpack or on clothing somewhere, or to keep as a memento. All right, course marking. Let's talk about course marking. So we will have orange and black polka dot with reflector flagging. So flagging tape with orange and black polka dots are going to be our main method of marking for this course. There are sections without a whole lot of trees, so we also will have orange pin flags with reflectors. That's going to be your 2 primary marking methods for the race. We will have some areas that will have sign arrows, so a right arrow, a left arrow, or straight. And we will also, in the city sections where you're on pavement, we will have some road stickers. They're about 2 feet by 1 foot, and they have an arrow on them along with the Cocodona logo, so that'll get you pointed in the right way. Wrong way is denoted with a blue and white checkerboard flagging tape. So if you're seeing a blue and white, that means you need to turn around and go back, and you've just missed a turn. Cutoff time. So hopefully you're not at the back of the pack and having to deal with cutoff times, but if you are, here's what you need to know. Cutoff times are leaving aid stations to be in front of the sweep. They are not what time you can get to an aid station. They are what time you need to leave an aid station. There have been some substantial changes to this course with this fire, as well as some substantial changes to the course that we made from last year, the first year. So course cutoff times are not 100% proven at this point. So depending on the field, we may be a little bit flexible. If we are changing course cutoff times, all of the aid stations will be updated with those course cutoff times. So have your crew or yourself ask at the aid stations, hey, are there changing course cutoff times? And they'll let you know. Pacers. This is a change because of the fire on the course, but Pacers were allowed on the course starting at aid station 6, Friendly Pines. We no longer have that aid station because of the fire. So we've shifted the Pacer start aid station to aid station 7, Whiskey Row. That's mile 61 of the course now. It used to be around 81, 85 actually of the course. So we've cut a few miles out. So Whiskey Row, mile 61 is where Pacers can start. You can only switch out a Pacer at a crew access aid station. So keep that in mind for your different sets of Pacers if you have Pacers at this race. Spot tracking. So GPS spot tracking is something that's really cool about this race. You can have your friends and family follow your location in real time, see how slowly you're progressing along the course or fast. That can be done on our website at cocodona.com. Go to the live page. So it's cocodona.com/live to get to the live streaming of that spot, to get to our live streaming and to get to the spot tracker for the race. So the spot device is issued at 8 a.m. Right before the 10 a.m. start time. So make sure that you're showing up to the start line by 8 a.m. on Monday to receive that live tracking spot device. The friends and family are going to be able to track you by your bib, which will have those bib numbers issued when you check into the race. We're going to place those spot trackers high on your shoulder. It does have a Velcro strap. They're about the size of in between a matchbox and a deck of cards. So they're pretty lightweight. They're going to go up high on your shoulder so that they transmit well. All right. So shuttle tickets are live and are up for sale now. We have two options for shuttle tickets. We have a pre-race option. So if you want to leave your car at the finish line in Flagstaff, or if you're flying into the race, we have shuttles going from Flagstaff, the finish line, down to the start line to drop you off on Sunday. We also have another shuttle going from the Phoenix Airport to the start line to drop you off. If you're flying directly in, we can get you shuttled to the start. Both of those are $50 for a shuttle ticket. We also have post-race shuttles for you from the finish line to the start line. Those are twice per day. And then there's also an option from the finish line to the Phoenix Airport. Those are also running twice a day, same shuttle. Those are also $50. So if you need a shuttle ride before or after the race, please check out the Cocodona.com website. Go to the shop page, and those shuttle tickets are for sale there. There's also a link in the runner guide along with the times for those shuttles in the runner guide. On the return trip, we realized that you're not sure exactly when you're going to finish the race. So the return tickets on the shuttles are flexible. If you've purchased a shuttle ticket, you can get on any shuttle as long as there's room. If it's sold out shuttle ride, you can't get on, but if there's any room in the shuttle, then you can get on. Right now, we're showing plenty of room for shuttles, so be sure to jump online and get those tickets right now. All right, parking. So we do have parking secured at the start line for the entire week of the race. You can show up starting at 1 p.m. on Sunday. You can park there until the race is over and the next day. So you can park there until Sunday morning after the race. We also have parking at the finish line. It's 3 blocks away from the start line. It's $5 a day to purchase directly from the city of Flagstaff. The link on how to purchase those tickets is in the runner guide, so feel free to jump on there, look in the parking section, and there is information on how to pre-purchase those finish line parking tickets. Camping. Okay. There are quite a few camping closures that are going on right now because of the fire around Prescott. So basically anything south of Prescott is closed in the National Forest. Camping is free and available at the start line for Sunday night. And then there's also a camping section in the runner guide with a lot of information on where your crews can find camping along the course. Let's talk now about weather. So currently the Prescott Valley, where the race is taking place on day 1 and into day 2, is filled with smoke. You can get all of the latest information on the fires, the road closures, forest closures, air quality, everything on our website. The homepage has an update with all of those resource links. Feel free to go and check that out. But there is a smoky conditions at the start currently. We're hoping the wind shifts directions, but right now that whole first day is under decreased air quality and is under smoke. After that, after you clear out of day 1 on the course, we're into much better air quality. So hopefully the wind shifts, but we are not planning to cancel the race. Air quality issues or not, we will be holding the race. Feel free to look on that homepage for updates to the air quality index and all that pertains to the fire. Most likely what you're going to be dealing with regard to weather is heat. So it's going to be hot day 1, day 2, and day 3 for you. Please be prepared. Don't overexert yourself. Don't push too hard on day 1, day 2, day 3. Get through it. Those sections are really hot during the day. Be prepared for that. Want to talk a little bit about merchandise sales. So we will have merch for sale at the pre-race packet pickup, both locations, at our office on Saturday and at the start line on Sunday. We'll also have those merchandise items for sale at the finish line. So bring your cash and credit cards. We would like to thank our sponsors. So Coros is the official GPS watch of Aravaipa Running. We're super excited to see their Vertex 2 with 140-hour battery life function really well out on the Cocodona course. You can download the course map directly to that watch. It's a pretty sweet watch if you ask me. Another thank you goes out to Cocodona. Cocodona is makers of great micro spikes and running gaiters. They are going to be at Fort Tuthill providing some awesome support for our runners. We want to give a shout out to Gnarly Nutrition. Gnarly is providing Fuel 2.0 out on the course at aid stations. You can also order Gnarly products for a 20% discount with Gnarly, all capitals, Gnarly 250. And we want to give a shout out to Squirrel's Nut Butter. They're awesome folks over there. They're based in Flagstaff. They're going to be out at the Fort Tuthill running that aid station. So big thanks goes out to Squirrel's Nut Butter. You can get a 20% discount on their products with Coco Lube. Coco Lube. So be prepared for chafing issues with Squirrel's Nut Butter with Coco Lube with a 20% discount. Runner Coffee Company is going to be out at Aid Station 7 providing coffee to runners and volunteers and crew members, so thank them when you're out there. And then finally, Dark Sky Brewing out of Flagstaff is offering runners $5 off coupons in the runner bag, so stop by Dark Sky Brewing for a beer after the race in Flagstaff. Thank you to those sponsors. Couldn't do it without you. Couple of notes for your crews, especially on day 1 with the course changes. So we want your crews, please relay this information to your crews. We want your crews to hang out at the start line as long as they possibly can. It's a 15-minute drive to White Rock, Aid Station 2, White Rock, where crews are allowed, but parking is limited. So we want crews to hang out at the start line as long as they can before they head up to meet up with their runner at Aid Station 2. As soon as their runner leaves Aid Station 2, we want your crews to leave Aid Station 2. Please make room for other crews as the runners come in. And then please don't proceed directly to Aid Station 4, Skull Valley. There is extremely limited parking at Skull Valley. We need your crews to hang out somewhere in Prescott for a few hours. Go down to Whiskey Row, check out the happenings on Whiskey Row. It's about a 30-minute drive to aid station number 4, Skull Valley. So give yourself about 30 minutes and a 15-minute head start on when you think your runner will reach Skull Valley, so that we can get the crews there quickly in, quickly out, support their runners, and leave quickly as possible. Those are the 2 items to note for crews. The runner guide has a ton of information for crews as well, so please have your crews read over the runner guide. There are 2 corrections that I need to make on the runner guide. One is Walnut Canyon. The cutoff time shown at Walnut Canyon calls 5:06 at 1 a.m. That should be 5:07 at 1 a.m. That was a little 5-finger typo mistake on my part. So Walnut Canyon, the cutoff time is 1 a.m., correct? 5:07 is the correct date for that. The other item is crew access notes for Walnut Canyon. The crew driving directions got cut off. So the correct driving directions to Walnut Canyon, the easiest way to do it is just type in that GPS coordinate to your phone. That'll take you straight to the aid station. But if you want written instructions, they are take I-40 east out of Flagstaff, take exit 204 Walnut Canyon and turn right off of the interstate. Go 2.5 miles, turn right onto Old Walnut Canyon Road, and then the aid station, you'll arrive at the aid station after 1.7 miles. So that information did get cut off in the runner guide, so feel free to pass on that information to your crews. I'm going to take a little bit of time to go through some information on the course, specifically the new section of the course that was added because of the fire. All right, so I'm zoomed out at about the whole course here. This section is the new section here. This is where our old course went. You can see it went right through the fire. So we added this new section in to get around that fire. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what you're going to be experiencing here. Talked about where the start line is. As soon as you leave the start line, you quickly get onto single track. You're on the Prescott Circle Trail very quickly. You do have a road crossing. We have a police officer out here at this road crossing. Be careful at that road crossing. And then you're quickly out of the neighborhoods and onto the Circle Trail. You hit Iron Springs Aid Station, which is not a crew access aid station, but we'll have aid set up there for you. At this point, you're on the Whiskey Off-Road 50-mile course going in reverse. So we're on that mountain bike course 2 days after their race finishes up. We go through the White Rock Aid Station, which is a crew access aid station. Crews will access via Thumb Butte Road from the main area in Prescott. So we're going to go through that aid station. You do have drop bags at that aid station. You do have crew access. So we're continuing on. It's fairly flat through this section. There's a lot of curves, a lot of switchbacks up and down, but it's fairly gentle rolling terrain through there. You're going to get to an out and back section. You're going to hang a right. You're going to see runners coming up and down, but you're going to drop. This is all the way down. Hit an aid station once, Finch Wells, go all the way down into Skull Valley. We're going to hit the Skull Valley Bible Church as aid station number 4, and then we're going to turn you right back around and send you back up this road. It's a nice, easy, well-graded dirt road. You're going to hit Finch Wells aid station. This time is number 5, headed back up as mile 41. You're going to hit the course and take a right. So you're leaving the out and back section right now. You're going to drop down into Copper Creek, get some aid at Copper Creek. That is not an aid station where you have crew or drop bags. And then you're going to progress, kind of dropping down a little bit into the city of Prescott, leaving the Forest Service. Here's where the closure is. We're skirting right outside that forest closure. Cross 89A, and now you're into Prescott proper. and then you're rejoining the old course. So that's kind of a preview of the new section of the course that we unfortunately had to move away because of the Crooks Fire. There are a couple of other new sections that I'd like to talk to you about. One is going through Fain Ranch. So we used to come through Fain Ranch and go through the main body of the ranch. Now we're kind of skirting the ranch on along 89A. We changed the location of the aid station, still named Fade Ranch, but it's at the horse track. So that is something new for us. A new section from last year is that section through Fain Ranch. And then a great new section this year is the route into Jerome. So last year we came off of Mingus Mountain, came off the top, ran on the ridgeline, hung a right on a Forest Service trail, and then got on this road that seemed to go forever, super rocky road on into Jerome. This year we're going to have what we think is a better route. You turn left on a single track trail, and then you get on a double track. And this is really nice double track through the pines, getting you up with some awesome views down into the Verde Valley. A great view looking down into the United Verde mine. And then we pretty much run right through the mine. You get some great views of the mine before you drop into Jerome. So new section into Jerome. We're super excited about it. We hope you are too. There is a slight new section out of Dead Horse. So coming out of Dead Horse, we used to just continue straight on the Lime Kiln Trail. This year we take a left on the Lower Raptor Trail, and then join back onto Lime Kiln. So that's a great section of the trail. We've been asked to do that so that we stay away from an endangered species of plant, the cliff rose. All right, and then the big change for the year is coming out of Sedona. So last year in Sedona, we used to take a loop around the airport on the south and the east end. Now we're going to stick a little bit lower on the north end of the airport. So that's a new section. And then the whole section coming out of Sedona is new. We used to head west, skirt the wilderness area between Secret Mountain Wilderness and the Sycamore Canyon Wilderness before getting up onto the Coconino Plateau and then coming into Fort Tuthill that direction. This year, super awesome section. We leave Sedona, headed eastbound. We continue through the awesome trails around Sedona. We cross under the Midgley Bridge right here. We run along Oak Creek. We cross Oak Creek, which you're going to be loving, and after the heat of the day in Sedona, get a great crossing of Oak Creek. Head up for a big climb up Kasner Canyon, which ironically is the same name of Kasner Mountain grade as last year's climb on the Coconino Plateau. Jump onto a Forest Service road, Schnebley Hill Road, and then we're nice and easy double track road through the Forest Service, cross under I-17 before you hit Schnebley Hill Aid Station. And from there you get a bunch of great, easy to run double track roads that take you into Munns Park. From Munns Park, you're on single track a lot of the way. Well, not yet. Now we've added this out and back section out of Munns Park. You got to turn around with a bib punch out here, so make sure to punch your bib. And then back, we're going to head back to Munns Park to hit Munns Park Aid Station a second time. We're going to run through Munns Park proper, and then we're going to take you on to the single track. Single track, this is great. Single track that alternates between super plush pine base running and some super rocky technical running. So that single track through there, that mouse is not liking what I'm doing here. That takes you through to Kelly Canyon, and then shortly after you pop back onto the course at Fort Tuthill. So that's a summary of our changes. I do want to make you aware of 2 water stations that we have added to the course. So the super hot stretch between mile 130 Deer Pass, aid station number 13, and mile 145 Sedona, aid station number 14. Right about halfway point, there's a water station that we'll have this year. Right around here. Right around halfway, and it's a take 1 liter for yourself water station. No aid, just water. And then we've got another one coming out of the super hot stretch of Sedona, right at the top of that climb, coming out of Sedona and getting onto the plateau. We've got another water station for you. Again, just take 1 liter. So that's not meant to fill up your entire pack. We kind of didn't want to tell you about it because we just want you to be able to top off, but plan for both of those. That's in between aid station 13 and 14, and another one between aid station 14 and 15. That, my friends, is all the updates I have for you. We're looking forward to seeing you out on the course. Thanks for bearing with us through the changes that we've had with Crooks Fire. We're excited for this year's race. It's going to be an awesome second-year race. And thanks again. We look forward to seeing you. Take care.